I'm going to show you how to use REST and Orchestrator. Let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm Watrous from VVork. If this is your first time here and you want to learn about automating, programming, and monitoring in VMware environments, you're in the right place. This is part 10 in a 10-part video series in which we're exploring how to make REST API calls. Here in part 10, we're going to be looking specifically at Orchestrator. In the previous video, we saw how to add a REST server to Orchestrator. The next step that we need to do is to add a REST operation. So we'll go to Add REST Operation, we'll run this workflow, and the very first thing it wants to know is it's labeled as parent host, but what it's asking for here is we need you to tell us which REST server you want the operation to run on. So we'll go ahead and click in this field. Pops up a window, a little tree browser, and in the tree browser, as you can see, we have two entries here. These are the two REST servers that we added in the previous video. So let's go ahead and choose the joke server and select it. And next up, what we're going to do is give a name for this REST operation. Now, what I'm going to be doing with this particular instance is I'm going to use the REST operation to get a single joke. In case you've forgotten what that looked like, in an earlier video we showed you that you go to this URL. Here they have some rather skimpy but entirely sufficient documentation. So if we go to that URL and then add on random_joke and hit enter, as you can see we get back one joke. So this is the full URL. Now back in Orchestrator, what we're going to do is specify the tail end portion of that. Again, what we just saw was random_joke, but that's not what we're asking for here. What we need here is simply the tail end portion. So let's delete the leading portion. Here you can specify which HTTP method you want us to use. In this case here, we're going to get one joke. Let's click run. And as you can see, the workflow ran rather quickly and it's done. Now, there's no joke appearing on the screen here, and that is because while we've added our REST server and we have added a REST operation for that REST server, we still need to invoke the operation itself, which we're going to do in the next video. Now, before we leave this video, I'd like to answer another question that you're probably asking yourself. You're probably asking yourself, am I going to have to run this add a REST operation workflow once for each REST operation? The short answer to that question is yes. The longer answer is that there is a way to accelerate this process, and we'll be talking about that in video part 10F. Join me in the next video as we continue our exploration into REST and Orchestrator.